Okay, so the much anticipated memo has come out today. I just got off of work and I got some thoughts about that. The first thing that came to mind is, you remember back, man, I don't even know if Trump had taken office at that point, but Trump tweeted out that Obama was spying on him. And I bring this up because here we are now, and think about where we are now. And I remember back then, because what I remember is that when he did that, he was laughed to scorn. They dismissed him and what he said so amazingly. Like, you know, the talk was, what a buffoon Trump is. Look at the idiot that we've elected as president. He actually thinks that Obama spied on him. And, you know, we've known for some time now that Obama's administration, in fact, did spy on him. So much so that the thrust of the media information now is not if they spied on him, but how did they justify starting the investigation in front of the FISA court? And that's what this memo is about. So for over a year, we've been inundated and barraged with this Russia collusion story. And the two main points to even justify the existence of this story that has been constantly in our face and beating us over the head like a woodpecker, this story has been. The two justifications for this, for the existence of this story by the mainstream media, has been, one, that there is an ongoing investigation. They're not just making this up, you see. There is actually an ongoing investigation into the concept of evil Vladimir Putin colluding with imbecilic, buffoonish Donald Trump. That has been what we have been told. And then the other justification was this sort of in the shadows dossier that nobody really wanted to talk about the details of, right? But it's out there. It's just, that's one of the pieces of information you see that this is just a little glimpse into the underbelly of the truth of the collusion that's going on. But what's funny about the dossier is that as soon as people started talking about it, they sort of dismissed it. And you found out rather quickly that this is just a complete another piece of propaganda. A completely false, made up, I don't even know what you call it. I mean, how did we even get this word dossier being thrown around? It's such a strange concept that, it's in the lexicon of everybody right now. So we have this dossier being thrown around. And like I said, rather quickly, this thing has just been showed to be a complete and utter piece of garbage. And then you also find out that not only is it garbage, not only is it not true, but the Clinton administration or the Clinton campaign actually pay for this fraudulent data. They paid for propaganda in a presidential election. So what do we find out today? We find out, so think about this. There's two justifications. The ongoing investigation and this sort of shadowy dossier, which, let's not even think about that, really. That's, there were some things that were true in that, by the way, they say. Like what? That Donald Trump exists, that people in the, that Russia exists as a country, that some guy named, whatever the guy's name is, Page or whatever, that he's actually made trips to Russia. I mean, what is true? Everybody pretty much admits almost everything in this thing is false. And the fact that Clinton paid for it is pretty telling. So then you find out, okay, let's eliminate that justification for the reason that we have this story killing us all 24-hour news stream cycle. We have to deal with Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia. So it's the ongoing investigation. And now we find out the whole justification for the ongoing investigation is this dossier. Think about that for a minute. So I tried to come up with an analogy, and maybe others can come up with a better analogy, but it would be like if I really hated somebody and decided I was going to tell a lie about them. And I told 12 people this lie. And then somebody confronted me and said, hey, that information that you're saying is not true. And then my response to that person would be to say, oh yeah, I know 12 people you can ask that'll say the same thing. Yeah, because the 12 people are repeating the lie. It's unbelievable that we live in, what kind of government do we have going on now? This is completely crazy. We really need to think about this. Forget the partisanship here. Just sit back and think about that. The mainstream media, I expect the government to be corrupt. If you pay attention, the government's corrupt. But I guess for me, I'm frustrated that I'm continually, my intelligence, I guess, is being insulted, that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I'm being told about a story that is a complete and utter fraud. And these same media people who are telling me this have information, have known that this memo's been coming out, and they don't even want to see it. When in the world does an information gathering institution not want to see information? That to me is one of the most telling things, because I can guarantee you, if they thought that memo had negative stuff about Trump, they would be all over it. Either you're gonna go after corruption or you're not. And it shouldn't matter who's doing the corruption, whether it's the FBI or the presidential administration, the executive branch, or whether it's congressional stuff or judicial. If there's corruption, and it shouldn't matter about the party. I don't care if I'm a conservative or not. If there's corruption, I want it all exposed. So, what's going to happen next? I just want to give my thoughts on what's going to happen next. I think there's going to be a number of firings. But I think the Mueller investigation, which is a complete and utter garbage, will continue. I don't think he'll fire Mueller. This is just my prediction. But what I think will happen is this. And maybe this is just me hoping, I don't know. That Jeff Sessions, who, honestly, I don't know what he's been doing. I know he recused himself. That's always been strange to me. But maybe it's genius. Because now he's got complete right to go after everybody now. He's not dealing with Russia, right? Go after every single do a complete anal examination of the FBI and the DOJ. Stop worrying about pot smokers, because that seems to be the only thing I can remember that Jeff Sessions has been doing, and go after government corruption. That's what I hope happens next, and that's what I'm going to say is going to happen next.